Cloud. All right, what's up, everybody? It's Bobby Gray here with another Tuesday night edition of Miners Update. Thanks so much for joining. We've got 355 people on the call so far. My list for this week to talk about is nothing. It's blank. In fact, this is the back of last week's list. It's so underprepared for. We've got a lot to talk about, but nothing bad. Nothing terrible, nothing earth shattering. Normally, I've got something in my brain that's like stewing and churning. And all right, we're gonna have to get this out sooner or later. Tuesday night's coming. We better be ready. And this week, I don't have any of that. That doesn't mean that it's not a good week. It doesn't mean that there's not lots to talk about. Um, it just means that we're in that part now where it comes down simply to running the business. And sometimes running the business is boring. When we're watching the market go that way and we're watching these record breaking numbers of new miners joining us and we're doing all kinds of exciting stuff. There's lots of exciting things to talk about. Sometimes we just need to talk about how we're doing a good job of running and building the business. And so that's probably what we're going to end up talking about tonight. I got a cool new shirt on. These are the F1 shirts that we're going to take with us to Austin this weekend. That's a big thing to talk about. We've got a party coming up Saturday night, the 18th in Austin. Tickets are sold out. If you show up at the door, we'll probably not turn you away. But we do have, I think, 620 tickets allocated. And anybody that has a real ticket has got a reserved confirmed seat. So good for you. But it's going to be a good opportunity for us to have a lot of fun. Formula One races, cars, exotic cars. There's a lot going on, and we've got a lot to be thankful for. We've got a lot to be grateful for. We've got a lot to celebrate, of course. And so we're going to do it this Saturday night in Austin. The office right now is a whirlwind of preparation because we've got door prizes. And I'm going to tell you what I'm hoping for. As long as you promise not to hold me to it to an extreme extent. This project's all about accountability and we want it. And I'm pushing to get something done. And maybe I should do a poll. Let's see. Should Bobby get our hopes up for Saturday night? Question mark. Choice one, absolutely not. Don't disappoint us again. And option two is YOLO. If we can dream it, we can do it. Okay. Let's save that. And let's save it as a webinar poll. And then we got to deploy it. We got to deploy it somehow. Hold on. One question. Is this it? I don't know. Yeah, this is poll number 3. Okay, launch. The poll is launched. Get your answers in fast. While you guys are doing that, I'm going to see if we've got anyone tuned in that we really want to have join us. McKaylin has got a birthday today, and so she's probably going to want to get on and off the call quite quickly. I don't even see her. McKaylin, if you're hiding, let me know. Who else is out there? Is Kyle out there? No. Is Robbie Roo out there? No. Is Tim out there? Maybe. I don't know. I might be all alone on this one tonight. If you're on the call and supposed to be joining me for an update, let me know. Is that the Paige I know and love? Let's see if it's the Paige. Gaige is here, promoting to panelist. I got to get your Zoom account login so that I can make you authorized co-hosts. So I don't have to track you down. Overwhelming majority says YOLO. If we can dream it, we can do it. Okay. So Tim's iPhone. Tim, is that the iPhone that I am familiar with, Tim? Put your hand down right now if that is you. Oh, okay, Tim. Okay, put your hand back up. Oh, there he is. Let's see if it's the right Tim. Or maybe it's some imposter Tim that's going to say terrible things about me once they're promoted to panelist. There he is. Okay. The poll is over. Thank you very much for voting. And of course, I was going to tell you anyway, it was a trick question. It was a trick question. Um, so the party on Saturday, what's my point? The party on Saturday is going to be cool because we've got a lot of stuff to give away. Anyone that shows up in person is going to have an opportunity to kind of do a preview of the gifts. I'm talking iPads, I'm talking luxury luggage, bags, purses. I don't know what else we've got, but it's cool. And what we're going to do, we got two options. We got plan A and we got plan B. Let's go with plan A. Plan A is when you get there, as you walk in the door, we're going to give you tickets, little paper old school tickets, you know, the ones they use at fairs and festivals. And the number of tickets that you get is directly related to the number of seats that you occupy on the rocket ship. How's that for a fun little format? Brand new, one seat, there's your ticket. Now, this is in addition to like drink tickets and all that stuff. But the giveaway tickets, the prize tickets are going to be directly related. Now, this is plan A. You'll get the number of tickets that's directly related to the number of seats that you have on the rocket ship as of like, I don't know, probably end of day Friday, because we got to tally it all up, write it down, print out the guest list and all that stuff. So then you'll have an opportunity to go into the event, check out all the cool stuff, and there will be a little see-through acrylic box there in front of each one of the gifts. Now, the reason that it's see-through is so that you can see how many other people have dropped a ticket in there for that prize. So if you're looking at the different prizes and you see everyone's going after the cool prize and you say, well, there's a lot of tickets in there, but there's not a lot of tickets in the other one. So my chances of winning with the few tickets that I have are going to be much greater in this smaller prize. Then you'll have an opportunity to put your little, cast your ballot, cast your vote based on the prize that you want to win. So that's how we're going to do it, at least with plan A. Now, let me tell you about plan B. And I call it plan B for plan blockchain. What are we doing here? We're creating an original layer one cryptocurrency, but it's not like any other Litecoin and Doge currency because we've built a layer two that runs on top of our layer one. Our layer one outputs TXC when the mine finds a new block, 254 per block reward. When it comes to layer two, we can create an unlimited number of coins, tokens, possibilities. You want to develop a in-home chore reward system? Layer two. Click, 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 create 1,000 chore tokens, and every time your kids do the chore, they get a token. They want to cash in some of those tokens. You can put a little price list on the fridge, night out with the friends, sleep over here, staying up late, drinking too much. What was it when I was young? Was it Jolt? Drinking too much highly over caffeinated Red Bulls. You're going to have to pay for that, Timmy. Well, Timmy's a bad one. Johnny, Alex is out there as well. Let me add Alex in here. Did Michaelin ever show up? I hope she did. If she didn't, I hope she's having a really great birthday. So anyway, so what we're doing with layer two is we're creating all the cool stuff that gives us the ability to take the Texit Coin blockchain and extend the possibilities to infinity, right? Think like Ethereum, smart contracts, think like, you know, tokens for this, that, the other thing. You know, we're going to be able to do all of that stuff on the Texit Coin blockchain. The question is whether or not we'll be able to do that by Saturday come party time. So plan B, you'll have wallet.texitcoin.org. Now, again, this is a hopeful. We're shooting for this. This is all already done. The layer two is done. It's been done for a while. We did the Ron Paul NFTs with the layer two. We just don't have an interface for it yet. And so to get the interface, I'm working on the developers. I pushed them. I said, I'll give you an amazing bonus if you get the interface on the web wallet ready so that we can roll this out so that people can vote for the prizes that they want by sending a layer two token. So we say, okay, here's how many people are going to show up. Here's how many tickets are authorized. You walk in the door, show us your wallet address. Boom, we send you the layer two tokens. And then you can go around and there will be a little QR code on each one of those acrylic boxes instead of a place to drop your paper ticket, old school. There will be a little QR code. You scan with your phone. You send one thing, just one. If you want to vote multiple times, you got to send multiple ones. That's what a NFT is. That's what a token does. You could send multiple ones, but we'll get into the mechanics of all that some other time. Anyway, that's plan B, plan blockchain. And so if we're able to pull this off, we will go digital with our in-event giveaways, and it'll be the first time that we're actually able to use our layer 2, and I'm very excited about that. My fingers are crossed. I hope your fingers are crossed as well. That's the goal for this Saturday. Like I said, it's all already done. It's just a matter of putting an interface on top of it so that you can actually choose not to send TXE, but to send the party token or whatever we call it, so that you can vote in the different bins you want to vote and then be able to get picked for those prizes as the time comes on Saturday evening. So that Saturday evening, we call it the When Lambo Game Over giveaway. Guys, it's going to be cool. We have been working our butts off over the last month and a half, 2 months now, to acquire really cool cars. And I'm going to talk more about the cool cars at the end of this because we've got a little bit of feedback on it. And I want to kind of bring it all together for you as we wrap up the call. But for now, we've got a bunch of other people on this call. Alex is here, Gaige is here, Paige is here, Tim's here. I thought that Michaelin was going to tune in and give us a quick update before she disappeared for the evening, but I don't see her out there. Let me know if you're hiding. In the meantime, let's just do a quick run through, guys, of what's happening in your world, and we can move on to less important or whatever stuff. I want to talk about the mine. I don't see Kyle on the call. I don't think Steve Walsh is on the call. Steve, if you're out there, let me know. But we've had a lot of exciting updates in the mining department that I want to talk about. Alex, you want to go first? Are you out there? Alex is out there. Don't let him fool you. What
I'm
up,
here.
Alex? There he
How's it
is.
going, y'all?
It's going great. Hey, just so you know, before you start your thing, I just paid out 1.044 million in commission. And so if you
All
had a
right.
commission
Saw
or a
that.
supernova bonus, and we've got a verified address, I also went through and found the 4 addresses that you had previously put notes in, and I got
Okay.
those paid as well because they did jump back over to the unverified list. Give us a quick update on what's happening in your world, and then I'll see if I can do a screen share to show you kind of how things work behind the scenes.
Okay. So week 80 commission, starting this weekend, commission was calculated. There was a few hiccups over the weekend, but we pretty much quickly resolved those. Um,
Let's talk about that
we
issue real quick. So, guys, we're developing and rolling out new features on a live system. You would love to think that we are so experienced and familiar with software development that we would like roll it out on a temporary like development server, test it out in Q&A, quality assurance department for like 6 to 8 months before we push that change live. Not the case whatsoever. When we ask the developers for stuff, they do it, we test it, we push it live, and then it's there. So we're working on making sure that new features don't affect old systems, and it's hard, and documentation helps, but the point is that we roll something out, we add a new bonus, we add a new feature, a new award, whatever, and then it causes something to break. When it runs through, it comes across a new circumstance and commission breaks. And so, unfortunately, developers usually don't work on Saturday or Sunday. Sometimes they pop up on Sunday and put out some fires for us, but traditionally they're not working Saturday, Sunday. So, if commission gets stuck for some reason Saturday night, we really can't get to the bottom of it fully until Sunday morning.
Yeah, and everything seemed to be working fine. We didn't have too many complaints come Monday. But we did do a total of 2.699 million in commission this week, which is still good, a little lower than we want. Uh, and about a total of 979,000 in USDC, which hasn't all been paid. We're still waiting on some suspended ones to come out.
Oh, it's got to be more than that because I paid 1044 today.
Oh, you did say that. Yeah.
And
Um,
and in
So
addition
those,
to
so
that,
this was calculated yesterday. These
okay,
probably didn't take into account people that already switched to Hash or TexitCoin. Yeah,
got it. Hey, I do want to draw your attention real quick to an interesting update
sure.
on the homepage because it's kind of a big deal. Here's the main page. Here's the
Yes.
chart. We jumped from like 89 million. We were just about ready to break 90 million, and then we jumped all the way up to 97 million. So I'm not sure if you're paying attention, but that's a big jump for two reasons. One, it's like an $8 million jump, and then number two is that we're breathtakingly close to $100 million project, which is big. I mean, we've talked
Yeah.
about how big it is, biggest by far that I've ever seen. It's one of the biggest ever in the history of crypto. The crypto industry still largely doesn't even know that we're here yet, which is how we want it. But the point is that the money is big and it's coming up on 100 mil. And so it jumped because I was looking at our weekly report, and the revenue in the weekly report was far lower than the revenue in the on the homepage. And so I asked the
Right.
developer, why is there discrepancy between these two reports? I mean, if I notice it, you notice it. And so you're going to ask questions. How can we know we trust this data if the data seems to be off in these two places? And he said that the homepage chart is built from our proof section, whereas the report that is in the magnum opus, as I call it, the weekly report, this is driven by the actual sales data itself. And so, so the difference is there because the homepage report wasn't taking commission sales, commission conversions to hash power into consideration, which is actually a really big deal. I mean, there's a lot of new money that we count because of people that earned their commission and then bought additional hash power with it. So that was being skipped. So we saw an
Yeah.
$8 million jump because we actually started taking those numbers into consideration.
Good.
Everything
Yeah.
else good
Sounds
in your
good.
department?
Yeah, so far so good. We're handling all tickets. If, like you had mentioned, if you are submitting a Zendesk ticket, please be as descriptive as possible so you don't have to go back and forth all the time. Uh, that will make it easier for all of us,
Yeah.
right?
And we're trying to come up with more automation through email systems so that if you do change it, you get an email, yeah, this is in fact the right address. Boom, you can move yourself back over to
Yes.
pending so that you get paid out in the next batch.
Yeah, I didn't want to mention that yet because I guess it's still in the works.
Yeah,
Haven't really fully built that out yet.
all good. Well, thanks for the update, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Anything else to add before I kick you out?
Um, nope, I think we're good.
Enjoy your Tuesday night. We'll talk to you
All right.
again.
Thanks. I'll be here.
Paige, what else is happening in the world of big finance?
Hello. So this week we had 5.811 or 5,811,235 in sales. Currently I am tracking down $1.436 million. So out of that, tracking those,
Where do you think it is? Is that pure pay? Is that
so precious metals, it's 10,945. So we did receive two of those today. So I got to take those off my list. And then wires, everything was verified except for 3,980 of them. So
yeah,
those were sent in on Saturday when the account got frozen. So
right.
cash 995, and then peers there was 1,344. Marianne's not on the call tonight. She had to go to the airport. So I was going to go over a few things with peers.
Yeah, what do you got?
So, just to clarify with everyone, make sure that you're paying your peer invoices with crypto only. And if you've been paying on time and with crypto the whole time, then your status is still active. You do have until the end of Friday. We were saying by 5 p.m. to make sure your invoice has been paid in full. If we don't receive your payment by 5 p.m., then that's when we're cutting your peer activation off. So just make sure that you're paying before Friday. If it's earlier in the week, that's better for us. You know, we hate having to track everything down on Fridays and making sure those are paid. You don't have to pay on a Friday. So I just want to make that clear with everyone too. Please do not send any wires and no checks. If, like I said, straight crypto. We've been talking about this for a few weeks now. And then if anyone owes past balances, please get this sent in immediately. We have been turning anyone's peers off if you have been past the week or two. So
Yeah,
um,
guys, practice is over. You know, it's prime time now. We're not a small project. We're not in the early stages. We're not guessing and checking. We are a very successful project. We're getting big. The stakes are high. We're a crypto project, and it's a little bit of a struggle to bring some of our, non-crypto friends over to this exciting world, but there's a prize waiting for you when you get there. When you open your mind up to a whole new world of money and finance, there's upside galore, not just with Texit Coin, not just with beating the banks at this currency game. There's upside with all kinds of other things that are out there, staking coins and interest bearing coins and all kinds of stuff. So it's a fun world. It's unstoppable permanent money. Be careful because there's a scam around every corner. But we need you guys to get into crypto. It's worth it, right? It's a little bumpy on the way in, but once you get the hang of it, you'll be very happy that you showed up at the party. So pretty pleased with Sugar on Top. Pay us in crypto so we can put that
yes,
money to work for us quickly. All right, Paige,
yeah,
anything else to add before I kick you out?
that is it. That's all. Oh, also, someone did ask if the 5% discount is still back on. Yes, it's still there as long as your peer access is enabled.
Yep.
So, but yeah, that's all I have for today.
And remember, you get the 5% discount as well if you add somebody through your back office, right? So if somebody goes
Yes.
to the front door and they do the thing there, fine. If you add them through your back office, you get that discount as well. Watch out for that discount when you're sending in your payment because some people are like, "Oh, I forgot I sent 9.95. I should have sent 9.45. Can I get that $50 back?" The answer is like, no, we don't have a whole department here dedicated to undoing the mistake that you made. Yeah, from time to time we do it, but please don't put that burden on our shoulders. That's an extra administrative struggle for us. We want to focus on the things that we're committed to doing well, and then we'll do as much as we can over and above that. But pay close attention when you're paying that because a couple clicks the wrong way and you YOLO that money into the unknown and you never see it again. So please be careful. Thanks, Paige. I appreciate the
Yes.
update.
Thank you.
Gage, what's going on with you, man? Are you out at the state fair still? Selling hot tubs for Texit Coin?
I am. Yeah, you must have heard. We did a pretty big deal over the weekend where we took a payment in Texit Coin for one of our hot tubs. And so that was pretty cool.
I,
Um,
I did hear, I saw the video. I thought it was great. I wanted to be the first guy that bought hot tub and Texit Coin. Was not meant to be. That title goes to somebody else.
we're still looking for number two, though. We will help you out.
Okay. What
No,
else
I
has
got a
happened in the
couple.
world of sales? I hear that you had a great call last night. I did not watch your call.
Yeah, I had Joe Jaquain on there, and he kind of broke it down and was giving us, some good information and stuff on how he was so successful on the Game Over giveaway, and how he's been leading, Miner of the Week for several weeks and all that. So that was great. I'm glad you dropped the recording for us very soon because I know a lot of people were pushing that out. The one thing I wanted to correct from last week is how you said there was no promotion month. I'm going to call it, we're going to be doing pop-up promotion for the promotion of October, which means we have a lot of stuff that we're going to be giving away, like concert tickets, sporting event tickets. There's a lot of things that we can do for contests and give away to our miners, but we might not get that information or details till, maybe a week before the event or a few days before the event. And so everybody needs to keep their eyes on Telegram because I'm going to be throwing stuff out there as we go along through this month that there's gonna be plenty of prizes and plenty of stuff that you can win. Yeah, that's Joe's new roles that he picked.
Joe picked out this beautiful rolls.
Georgia
At
Quinn.
the end of the day, the first prize for the Game Over giveaway is this car. Joe earned it free and clear. We paid $298,000 for it. Joe's been absolutely crushing it. There's a lot that we can learn from the work that he's doing, and hopefully we can all start implementing some of his strategies. Tune in to yesterday's call. The link to the recording is in the objections and rebuts topic in the main Telegram chat group. Guys, raising tide raises all ships. Rising tide? Raising tide? Rising
Rising.
tide raises all ships.
Yep.
And so, we cheer and applaud when somebody figures out, a strategy, has a breakthrough. And, when the mind grows, we all win. More cash comes in, more advertising goes out. Think about it. Just this last week, we added Miami, we added Orlando, and we added LAX advertising. We're spending another $1 million a month right there. I think it's just under $1 million a month on those 3 airports, spreading our message to new communities, supporting teams in Florida, supporting teams in California. Like, the faster this cash comes in, the faster we put it back out, the faster this thing grows and gets to where we all know it can go. And so I applaud Joe. I want him driving around in a beautiful Texit Coin wrapped Rolls. I want people to know that we've got the only exciting thing today in crypto. The market's crashing, billions, trillions of dollars disappear. Not little old Texit Coin going strong. I think I can. I think I can. Somebody pointed out in the chat group, like, we've hit every goal, we've hit every milestone, we've accomplished everything, we've followed through on everything. And every time the market jumps up, you think that everyone's going to sell and it's going to crash and it's over. And then it doesn't. And we don't even touch the liquidity that we've set aside. And so we've got this really great, healthy, growing system. And it's because of people like Joe that have found a way to bring it to community. And now he's going to be driving around a brand new Rolls. Well, not brand new, but a new to him Rolls that he earned free and clear from his work. A lot of other people are going to be doing great stuff too with cars. We'll talk more about that in a bit. But thanks for
Yeah.
having those calls, man. I really appreciate that. Anything else earth shattering to add before I cut you loose?
Yeah, there's one more thing. There's an anonymous attendee that asked a question, or in the question chat here, that says, many people on my team have heard that Gaige is eventually going to take over leading Texit Coin and taking Bobby's place. How true is this? Well, guys, on Monday,
There's a
I guess
coup.
I'm the new falafel, if that's what needs to
There's
happen.
a coup that they didn't even tell me about. That's how the best coups are, though. I'm the
Yeah.
last to know.
So I want to set the record straight. I do not want to be in Bobby's place. I do not want to be the falafel. He's doing a great job. I think we should let him keep going for a little bit longer. So
Well, someone eventually is going to be the guy. Remember, I've committed a number of years to this project, and my goal as we go through phase 1 and phase 2 and phase 3 and phase 4, which we're going to talk about a little bit tonight if we still have time, is to set the wheels in motion so that if a meteor or some sort of transit bus decides to take out this guy, then our system is going to continue purring right along as if nothing happened. We've seen it happen plenty of times before, not with such, terrible, gory ends, but Charlie Lee stepped out of Litecoin in 2017. Litecoin community today is not the Texit Coin community, but it's thriving. It's doing all right. The coin's all right. And so, we're still young. We want to graduate to some of these higher levels. And so we don't know. Could be Gaige.
could
Could
be.
be. Could be Tim.
Um,
Where's Tim?
one other thing I do want to confirm is Big Tex has actually given Texit Coin shout outs out here at the State Fair of Texas. We have sponsored something. I can never catch what we have sponsored, but we are something out here at the State Fair of Texas, which is just incredible. So I have confirmed it now. I've heard it twice.
Did we pay for
I've had
that?
other people hear it, but we don't know what we're a sponsor of. But we're a sponsor, so that's great.
Well, great job. And we're very excited to have you wrap up your current obligations. Look, we have a lot of respect for people that follow through on deals that they make, commitments that they make. And so we've had to be a little bit patient, waiting for you to come over here and join us full time. But crush it there at the State Fair. Have fun, sell more tubs, take more TXC in, Keep turning it
We
over,
will.
keep circulating it. Remember, guys, we're trying to come up with a new phrase in the industry called like spendle or tradle. You know, everyone keeps saying hodl, diamond hands. And it's like, that's not what a currency is for. That's what Bitcoin's for. That's digital gold. That's gold. You can't really spend it. Doesn't work like that. You know, we've got TexitCoin. It's like digital silver. It's designed to be spent and traded in the marketplace. And so, so thanks, Gaige, for tuning in. I appreciate that. I'm going to remove your pin. I'm going to say, what's up to my man, Tim? I haven't seen
Hey,
you in
hey,
like
hey.
20 minutes.
I know it's been so long. Actually, it's really good to know that if something happened to you, that we would still have Gage Blake that would be there in order to run the ship for us. So that's really good.
Thanks, Gaige.
Anyway, it is good to be back, people. We are now back for about a week. It's kind of funny. That was the first time that I'd ever been to Asia and spent 3 weeks over there. And it was a little bit to come back and kind of get back into the swing of things, but we are fully operational here and we are rocking and rolling. So what I've been doing is getting with our leadership, which is our Texit Rangers. So again, if you're a Texit Ranger with our operation, you are part of the leadership of our company, right? Of our project. And these are the people that are out there week in, week out, that are running meetings, they're doing the things, they're helping their downline, and they're helping the project go to the finish line, right? And so what we're doing is we're trying to establish, what our processes are for these rangers. We found out, because of such of a large growth that we've had, not a lot of people that are probably on this call even know who their ranger is, who their upper leadership is. And just like the raising tide all, what did you say there before?
You can't fool me.
Just,
Fool me, shame
just
on me.
yeah,
Fool my
just like
ship.
just like that, I always say, or the saying that I've always had that have been coined there for the longest time is iron sharpens iron, right? And so being able to know who your leadership is, somebody that can help you, get to the next level, that's beneficial. So we're coming up with some new things that are going to be down the pipeline that will probably allow you to identify when you're signing up, and maybe on your back office or something like that, that will show you who your ranger is, who your leadership is. So you have somebody that you can reach out to maybe help put on an event for you, maybe come speak at your event, right? To help you get to the next level. It is amazing, Bobby, when we look at that chart, and we are almost at 100 million in sales, right? I mean,
100 mil.
that's
Wild.
crazy, right? And it's just the beginning, guys. I mean, this thing is, for all those people out there that when we first started and they're like, well, I don't know if this thing's going to last, right? And for everybody that's signing up now, it feels like it's a lot easier to be able to share this project, right? We know where we're going and everything else.
Yeah. Somebody
I
just
didn't get
commented
it.
a second ago about the declining new miners and sales. I'm trying to see if I can pull it up here. And I
Well,
wanted to talk.
I would say on that, Bobby, too, is, we had a lot of our leadership that was gone for 3 weeks, right? And then, it took about a week for a recovery here. So, I would say that's pretty par for the course when you've got that many people that are gone that are doing major events each and every week.
Yeah.
I mean, that does affect the sales for sure. So,
Yeah. That's a big thing. Contests and promotions, but here's the biggest driver, I think. In my mind, the biggest driver is the price of Texit Coin. And so I would guess if you put the Texit Coin price chart and lay it on top of the last couple weeks of sales, you're going to see kind of a very similar chart. And I'm trying to line it up right now. I would say that you're going to see almost, a match there because, when the price pops, the interest in mining is going to jump because a lot of people are looking at it from an ROI basis. They're looking at it and saying, "Oh man, this coin's at $7." And so if I get, one coin a day, I'm getting $7 a day. And so, if the coin's at $3, they look at it and say, "Well, I'm only getting $2.50 a day." So there's a lot of ROI computations that goes into the excitement. When people see the coin jump, it's exciting. They talk about it more and more and more and more posts on social media. See, I told you so. And so I want to remind everyone to not get too caught up today in the price. Yes, the price matters. Yes, we want the price to go up, but we've got the path to 16. This is our strategy to stair step our way up to that $1 billion value. And so anything that happens above that, and if you remember last week, we went over those details. We were talking last week about how exciting it was to see real market trading, real data, real interest in our project outside of that barcoding. Remember, we call it barcoding when we kind of just stay at a constant price back and forth, back and forth. So when there's a big jump, it means that there's a big buyer. Now, I can tell you personally, I can tell you exactly what it costs for the market to jump like that. I can't give you an exact historical number, but I can tell you, like right now, looking at our market on Dex Trade, if someone were to drive the price up to $4.55 from 386 where we are right now, it would cost $130,000. So my guess is when we jump from 379 up to $7, someone probably put three, four, $500,000 into the market. Now that could have been one person. That could have been 2 or 10 or 100. It could have been 1,000 buyers all buying a couple $100 worth. But I can tell you that for the market to go from 379 up to $7, it would have cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so we want that from time to time. But if we watch the market slowly kind of trickle back down to what our strategy is, and that's what we've seen over the last couple of weeks, we saw the big jump back September 15th. So almost a month ago, we've been living through this ho-hum. The market's on its way down. Now, the market is bottoming out at this 379 point, and that's important because that's what we're protecting right now. You can't even, you can see that we've got $40,000 still sitting there on Dex Trade protecting 379, but still everything above that is real market and real trade data. And so my guess as to what's the biggest driver of growth is the price. And so what we've done is we've set a price appreciation schedule that's 45%. That's the number. That's the magic. It's like, well, how did Bobby come up with the path to 16 numbers? I mean, it must have come to him in a burning bush or on like a set of tablets or something he found in his back. No. It was a calculator. I said, okay, I want to be here by February of 2026. I'm here now. How much do I have to grow each? 100% growth. That's too fast. We would get there by mid 2025. 25% growth, not fast enough. It would take us too long to get there. 45% growth is the pace that we've established. And so a lot of things right now are revolving around this 45% number in our world. Okay, we need to have 45% more liquidity. We need to have 45% more staff. We need to have 45% more, fun than we're having. We need to continue to upgrade the way we think about this project by 45% because that's how fast the coin price is growing. So if administratively we're not keeping up, if fun and entertainmentally on rising shipedly we're not keeping up with the 45%, then we're falling behind. But that's the pace. It's breakneck speed, man. It's dizzying. But that's what we set out. We set a goal. We picked a time. We talked about it, and we agreed that it was reasonable and doable. And so that's what we need. Now, if we see a jump in sales or a jump in new miner activity because of something that happens outside of the realm of things that we have the ability to influence, then we'll take it. We'll take it. But we're not going to get bummed out when the market returns to where we think it should be. I'll give you another example right now in my Telegram group. Check out what happened here. This is our social media group. Hayden is our social media manager. Can you guys see my Telegram?
Yes.
Hopefully you can see it. Anyway, there's a post here that Hayden screenshot from this guy, Joe Wiesenthal. And he said, at the airport in Houston, they're advertising something called Texit Coin. It's got 80,000 views inside of a couple hours. We've seen the same Texit Coin ads in Austin radio station, KLBG, BJ. And they're tweeting us. They're mentioning us. I don't even know what the terminology is. But this guy's got 421,000 followers on, what is that, X? I mean, guys, here's the deal. We only have to get lucky one time. It only has to work once. We put the money out, we put the advertisements out, we share the story, we share the message. Sooner or later, the right person at the right time is going to see it, tweet it, share it, post it, whatever the things are people do on social media, and then it's gone. And that's free. That's earned media, we call that. We got paid media. We're paying about $2 million a month now for our paid media. And then we've got earned media. That's people doing stories about us. That's people seeing us, taking a picture and tweeting it out. So we want the earned stuff. The earned stuff is a byproduct of us doing a great job, sharing our story, and then putting money out there into marketing and advertising. So it only has to catch once, and it's all gone. And then our mission's complete. Well, phase one is complete. But I would say,
Hey, can I interject on
Yeah,
that,
please
Bobby,
do.
too? I was gonna say, as far as the, price going up and down and everything, and I remember when I first started and you said, I don't even look at the price, Tim. I know where we're going. I don't even look at the price, right? And at that time, I was probably checking the price probably every 30 minutes. I would
Yeah,
continually just
yeah.
keep looking at it and looking at it. And I haven't even looked at the price in over a week. And the reason is because I know where we're going, right? I know that we're going to be $1,000, inside of a couple years, right?
Yeah.
And so it doesn't matter to me what it is right now. What I'm focusing on, and this is what I would tell everybody on this call to really listen. And when you start feeling this in your core, right? And you realize what this project is, it was really eye-opening when we went to Singapore and we were at Token 2049 and we walked around and there was this huge convention, right, of 5 different levels of all these different, everything was filled up with all this different cryptocurrency stuff and all this different projects, and it does this ecosystem, that, and it was all a bunch of smoke and mirror. It really was. There was only one important project that was at that place right there, and that was TexitCoin. That was us. And the reason for it is because we are fulfilling the mission that started it all. Bitcoin started everything, and we're the ones that are picking up from there. And when everybody that's on the call realizes that to their core, then it doesn't matter if we go up, we go down, you know what I mean? Because we know that we've got something that's going to last. We're building something that is going to be here for years and years to come. And most people can't say that. And so, man, it's just a fun ride. And so, yeah, so you get people, I got people that were texting, hey, what's going on with the price of TexitCoin? What's going on, right? Well, it's doing what it's doing, and we are above what we were looking at doing, right? So just, I would say everybody that's on the call is just pay attention to what we're actually doing. Don't focus so much on the price. The price is going to happen. That's going to happen, and that's just a matter of time. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. We're all going to make money, but let's focus on what the actual mission is doing, what we're actually about, right? That's what we need to focus on.
Like my fortune cookie says, luck is what happens when hard work meets opportunity. We're going to get lucky. We're working hard. We're at the right place at the right time. We're doing everything right. And so there's no doubt in my mind that we will get lucky, as we got lucky last month, mid-month, when we saw the price jump. We don't know why. We can't know why. It's an open and free market. But I think the message is to encourage you to consider right now is that if you're selling based on price, then you're going to have to deal with people coming back to you later when the price is coming down and answer for it. Explain it. Hey, it has nothing to do with me. Well, you told me that the price was going up. You told me this. You told me that.
Right.
You told me, you bragged about all these things. And so as you're communicate the mission, picking up where Bitcoin left off, the Bitcoin time machine, the guys that are building the proof of work in Texas, the Made in America blockchain, the community currencies, the fairs and festivals, all the things that give us that real staying power, that real utility, the things that everybody else forgot, the things that we're focused on at the core of our project to be successful. The price will follow. Sometimes the price will lead. That's what we saw happen in mid-September. The price led. We didn't have any reason for it. We don't know why it happened, but the price led. And so now, as the price is starting to calm down, people are looking at it and saying, "Oh, well, this is upsetting." The price will go up. I'm looking at a bunch of questions in the Q&A right now saying, "When? When's the nudge coming? When? Tell us." Well, remember that the nudge comes. The nudge is a byproduct of not anything other than our liquidity, right? And so if you go to the help desk and read the Path to 16 article, you will remember that in order for us to nudge, we've got to have $10 million in liquidity. Right now, we've got five. What is it? It's million, 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 and 2 million. There's our five. Now, what's the next 5 million going to be? We don't know yet. We don't know yet. Where is the next 5 million? Well, we've got it in a bunch of different places right now, but until I can prove to you that I've got 5 additional million for a total of 10 million in liquidity, we can't budge the price. We won't do it. Now, what's the timeline? The timeline is by the end of October, we're supposed to hit 379. So we're a couple weeks ahead of schedule right now. And then we've got until the end of November to hit 529. I'd like to be at the November goal before we hit November. So keep an eye out on the liquidity updates in the next 2 weeks. And let's see if we can get there by the end of November. But you got to remember something very, very, very important. It's not magic. It's not, well, Bobby reaches deep into his pocket and pulls out $5 million of his benevolent money to help us keep moving along. No, no, no. It's budgeted from cash that comes in. So if our sales go and the cash doesn't come in, it's hard to build out that budget, right? So what we have to watch out for is we do have to watch the growth. So if everyone's dependent upon the price going up and the price isn't going up, then it becomes stagnant and all of a sudden we stall. And so that's why we've got Tim with his head in the game, Gaige with his head in the game, looking at working with the team, to creating compelling strategies on how to continue to share our story and spread the message, right? So we're all at work. Like Tim said, we've been gone for 3 weeks, bouncing around the world, testing out some ideas, sharing some time together, breaking some bread, making new friends, doing some important stuff. But now we're back and we're dialed in, we're buckled down. We are raising tides and ships left and right. And now we mean business. And that's what I said at the beginning of the call. Now we have to run the business. Okay, we've had our fun, we had our warm up, we learned some hard lessons, we had a hack here, we had a mistake there. Let's go. I'm ready, Tim's ready, you guys are ready, and now we go. Big event on Saturday, big events coming up in Florida, big event in Scottsdale. So now we just run the business and we scale, just like we know we can do without the hype, without the influencers, without the pump and dump guys. We got to do it ourselves. We've got a plan. You know what the plan is already, and let's go. Tim, thanks for tuning in. Anything else to add before we cut you loose?
Nope, appreciate it. You
You're
guys
the
have a
man.
great
Stick
night.
around if you like. All right. So a couple things I want to talk about real quick. First, and probably the most important, is what's going on with the mine, because last week, as you may recall, it was all bad news. And this week we've come a long way. So I want to scroll back through some of the pictures. We've got our mining chat here. We've got it broken down by mining sites. And so I want to bring you guys up to speed on what's happening in McKinney because we did get the voltage regulators in. They look like this. They showed up last week. It was great. And then the other thing that happened is that we got the BC100 and we had some miners unloading miners, but this is the naked version of the BC40. Can you guys see my screen okay? Is that coming up there for us? I think it's coming up. Okay, hands are going up. Thank you. So this is the great guys that were on call, man, with a couple hours notice. They showed up. They got this thing out of the shipping container and helped us unload it. But we moved the BC48. Now, I got a little bit of a stupid admission here. I made a mistake with my entry level knowledge of three-phase power. And so I don't want to try to explain three-phase power to you, but the mistake that I made was I was looking for sites with 400 amps of 480 volt power, three-phase to run a BC48. Very difficult to find. What I learned from the new professionals that are helping us build the mine now is we don't actually need that much power. It's actually a whole lot less than what I thought. And so we were able to actually take the B48 down to Mansfield, plug it in, and as we speak right now, I'm very happy to tell you that the power conditioner is keeping the power clean, and we've got the mines coming online right now in Mansfield on the B48. So that's what the B48 looks like. We've got the miners all prepped and spoofed, all the fans removed. That saves power, cuts down on heat. And so they're going into the tubs right now. I was hoping that I was going to be able to pull up the chart on the website and show you a gigantic jump in hash power before our call today. But guys, it's literally happening right now as we speak. I'm very excited about it. We're trying to tread carefully because we don't want to bring you any good news before it's ready. I gave you a little bit of good news earlier, maybe ahead of schedule, but it's happening right now as we speak. Kyle says we are hashing. There's the update. We are hashing 280 at the moment, still climbing. Excellent work. Love it, love it, love it. Feel free to send a real-time video. Okay, so that's really great news. The B48 is going online right now. Remember, we've only ever had, oh, he's on the call. We've only ever had the B24 up in McKinney from time to time. You know, when we first turned the B24 on, we saw this big power up here all the way at 400. And then problems, turned it off, back on, problems, and now we're starting to get things figured out. So I am very excited because the B48 coming online fully is more than double the capacity that we had going on in McKinney. And so hopefully by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, you're going to see it the same way I'm seeing it. But let's take a real quick detour all the way over to beautiful Victoria, Texas, and get our images updated just a couple hours ago, guys. This was from 11:09 this morning from Steve Walsh. They're out there. They dropped the power pole in, and that's what it looks like. That's our pole. We bought it. We paid for it. It's in the ground. Steve, I don't know if you're on the call, but it looks like major progress has happened today. This is also kind of a cool thing. I don't know if I can find a picture of it here, but we've got the technician from Fog Hashing on site. It's this guy right here. The Fog Hashing technician is on site helping us get this install done. And so I had a conversation with Tim yesterday, and I'm just going to share the details of that conversation so you know how my brain works, right? Because, look, after we had a call, a week and a half ago saying, hey, we fired the guys. We're not making progress. We're canceling them. We're stopping the bleeding. It was DEFCON 1, all hands on deck. And this is an emergency. It's critical. It needs to be dealt with immediately. And we said, okay, hold on. We don't have mission critical applications on here. Yes, we need the mine. Yes, it needs to be running. Yes, we need it better, but we got to be careful because we don't want to write a blank check for $100 trillion and try to solve this problem and then come up short again. So we have to be careful. And then we had a conversation in my office the other day about kind of like the hierarchy of goals. The top goal is for us to build the 100 million mega hash mine. The goal below that is for us to build the mine at or in excess of the amount of hash power that we've sold. So if you go on the website, and the website says that we've sold 115,346 gigahash, 15.3 million megahash. If the website says that we've sold that, then we want you to be able to go on the website and see that we're hashing at or above that. And so that's kind of like the next goal down. So 100 million mega hash, top goal, we're not there now. Next goal down is for us to be at or above what we've sold. Okay, well, that's kind of impossible because we're growing fast and the cash comes in, we place the order, we pay for it, we go through all these steps to get ourselves to the point where the machines are actually in the soup and hashing. So there's like a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 week lead time in there, even if we knew exactly what we were doing and we were able to do it right away. Okay, what's the next step down from there? The next step down from there is all the equipment that we've paid for is installed. We've gotten 4 shipping containers. We've gotten a B48 and 2 B24s. And so we have the capacity right now with the 4 shipping containers, which hold 200 each, and the 48 and the 24 and the 24 to hold a grand total of 896 ASICs. At 16,500, we have the ability to run the network if everything was installed. Get this number, at 14.7 million. So let's go back real quick to where we are on the hash power chart and say, well, we've sold 15.3. So even if we installed all 4 shipping containers, the B24s and the B48, we still wouldn't be at or above what we've sold. But that's the next goal down. The next goal down is to get all 4 of those installed. Okay. We have everything we need to do that. Okay. Now, what's the next step down from there? The next step down from there is to get the first one installed. Get Victoria turned on. When we flip that switch in Victoria, we say, guys, check it out. We did it. We learned, paid a bunch of money, expensive lessons, figured out what the connectors are, the size of the cable, the electrician guy you got to call, the power company, everything we needed to install a container, we learned. And we turn it on and it's hashing. Great. So that's the next goal down, right? So as we work through this hierarchy, 100 million mega hash, more than we've sold, all 4 containers installed, 1 container installed. That would be really great. I could come back to you and I'd say, guys, we've put out this money. We've waited a long time, and here's where we are today. We got the first one in. Then getting 2, 3, and 4 in should be really easy. We got 4 more on order. The next goal after that is to get the B24s and the B48 installed. We're almost there on that. But the bottom goal, and this is kind of the entry level goal, is to show that we know what we're doing. We demonstrate proficiency in the ability to actually build a mine. I've never done it. I've done little ones. We had the one going to, but have I done a big container from start to finish, finding the land, getting the power allocated, putting in the pad, dropping the container, filling it up, cross-connecting with the grid, getting security, cameras, fence, the whole thing. Like, I've never done that before. You're looking at the charts on the website. We're up, we're down. We need to show and demonstrate that we actually know what we're doing. We have the ability to get the job done. That's why we fired the guys last week. We didn't think that they were showing that we had the ability to get the job done. Maybe we would have gotten there someday, but we had to change it. And so that's really the bare minimum. I got to be able to come to you and guys say, we know what we're doing. We actually can do it. That's great. I think we're there now. Especially with Kyle sending in some messages and some videos saying, hey, check it out. We're hashing. It's going to take a couple days for us to evaluate. But the bottom line is we've got it. We learned from our mistakes, power problems, power issues. And now this thing is cranking away 380 mega hash. I wonder if Kyle's going to take me over and show me the computer. Can you guys see this? I think you guys can see this video. Come on, there's the power stabilizer. Show us the hash power. Boom. Perfect. Love it. Real time right now, 282 gigahash. And now he says we're all the way up to 380. That is a demonstration of the fact that we actually know what we're doing, right? We're learning. Some of these lessons are taking time. Some of them are taking money. But guys, we're figuring it out. We're getting the job done. We're seeing it happen in Victoria. We've got a new consultant here that's going to have a report for us tomorrow. He has a site that might take 2 containers right away. Why would we put 2 containers in one spot right away? Because we have to come back to you and show you that we're as focused on deliverables as you are. Let's get those containers installed. Let's get that hash power up so you can go back to all of your friends and family and say they really did it. They know how to do it. They got the job done. They followed through. That's a really important thing for us. I'm sure it's important for you. It's important for me. It's important for our team. It's important for our project. And it's literally the thing that will keep me out of jail. So, showing that we know what we're doing, getting the B24s and the B48s installed, getting the first container installed, getting all 4 containers installed, getting up to, or above the hash power that we've sold, getting the mine done. It's a process. And we understand that it's going to take some time. We appreciate the patience that you guys have given us. I think we're doing great, and I hope you guys agree as well. Keep an eye on the chart on the website. Hopefully tomorrow morning when you wake up, you'll see some new numbers that will convince you of that entry-level goal. We know what we're doing. We have the ability to get the job done. All right, so that's what I wanted to cover on tonight's call. I don't know if there's anything else to cover. We got a Halloween party coming up. We got Saturday in Austin. There's a lot of things going on. We're making a lot of progress. We're coming up on that $100 million mark. And now it's time to go to the Q&A, our favorite part of the call. If you got questions, pop them in. Guys, remember that Tuesday night is your time to connect with me, right? As this project becomes bigger and more exciting, my time becomes more limited. We're coming up on what, 40,000 miners now, 38,342. It's very exciting growth. Remember that there's a comp plan change at 50,000 miners. The comp plan change at 50,000 miners is the end of BOGO. The end of BOGO. That means that if you qualify for your 3 points left, 3 points right, you've got a commission coming your way. We give you the option to take that commission in TXC. You can take it in USDC, or you can take it in a hash power upgrade. If you take it in a hash power upgrade, we'll give you 2 for 1. That changes. Miners 50,000 plus will not be able to take their commission in double hash power upgrade. Why? Because we're trying to throttle this thing's growth. I know we wanted to get there quickly, but we also need to bring in the cash. And what we're keeping a very close eye on is the revenue per seat that we're bringing in. Right now, it's about $634. And so a seat costs $9.95. If you pay for it through your back office, it costs $9.45. That's all well and good. But what we need is we need to develop our liquidity budget, our marketing and promotion budget. We need to pay out our commissions. We need to cover our overhead expenses. I need to make some money. And so we have to keep an eye on the revenue. And so we're making that change to just a small adjustment. It only affects new miners. And that continues to keep our project healthy, keeps the cash coming in, keeps us moving in the right direction. So that's going down in just over 10,000 miners, 11,000 miners from now, and that'll be an exciting change. Okay, let's get into the Q&A. If you guys have heard everything you want to hear for the evening, thanks so much for joining. Feel free to drop off, and let's get into the Q&A. We got 99 plus questions. Oh, boy. It's 7:01. Let's see if I can knock this out in an hour. Dallas Stars' first home game tonight. Did the deal get inked? First game is tonight. We're waiting just for a finalized contract to get approved by the NHL League. Dallas is good. They're on board, but they have to get everything that they do approved by the league. So we're waiting for that. Do we not have a CRM built into the back office? No, we really don't. We are working on improving our communication system. Where do we buy shirts like the one you're wearing? You don't. But I think we will have them at the Formula One party on Saturday night. Let's talk about that real quick, guys, because this is like really, 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 really important. And this is an idea that I've been chewing on for the last couple of days. Phase 1, build the mine. Phase 2, utility, downtown digital dollars, fairs and festival tokens. Phase 3, replicate what we did here on the other side of the world 4 more times. Southeast Asia, Eastern Europe, South America, and Africa. Why? Because if the grid goes down in Texas, we don't want the whole country that's relying on our network to be in trouble. We have a model that we're developing here on how to build a proof of work mining network that allows the community to have a vested interest in the currency's success. That's what we're doing at the core. Bitcoin had it, then ASICs showed up, and they lost it. Because we have a cap on the size of the mine, mining can always be profitable. That's the idea. So we want to replicate this in 4 additional regions. That's phase 3. Let's talk real quick about phase 4. And phase 4 is not real glitzy. It's not real glamorous, but it is important. And it's the reason why we're doing the cars. I told you at the beginning of the call, I talk a little bit more about the cars. Not that we've gotten negative feedback, but people are like, hey, man, you're not getting carried away, are you? I'm seeing like sports cars and Lambos. We're not doing it like the other guys. No. Here's what we are doing, though. We have said for a long time that everything that matters to my daughter in her world exists on her phone. Kids are into crypto, and that is not entirely true. Go out tomorrow, talk to a young person, ask them how much Bitcoin they've got. You know what the answer is? 0. They're not into crypto. Why? Because they're broke. Okay, there are some kids that are at Ivy League schools that get their, monthly allowance from mom and dad that are playing with stonks and Wall Street bets. But for the most part, kids today don't have resources. You guys do. Older people do. People that worked hard, saved, put money away for retirement. But not everybody does. And the kids are really feeling it the worst. And I got a whole conversation theory about kids that I'm not going to get into right now. But I can tell you for sure that children are the future, and we have to invest in young people. Now, I'm kind of uniquely qualified for this job because I ain't that old yet. 45. I'm kind of like halfway, right? I understand the conversation about gold and silver. I understand the conversation about crypto. I grew up riding like a BMX bike around, and I know my way around my smartphone. I got the best of both worlds. We've got a tool that's designed to incorporate the best of both worlds. But we have a conversation for young people. We have a conversation for young people about the future of money. And if they don't understand today why it's so important, and how if they can understand how to get into it and navigate it and like figure out which meme coins are going to become valuable, if they can like figure that out, they might just have a chance for an upside. They might just have a chance to change their financial future the same way that you and I have. And so we want to connect with kids. Well, where are kids? What are they doing? Like they're in school. They're riding around in their little souped up cars, hanging out doing cars and coffee. Every one of these car and coffee events we go to is just jammed up with young kids that love cool cars. And so we show up. We got the only branded cars there. We're bringing young people out from our team to go connect with young people over the cars and coffee and invite them in to participate in our story. That's phase 4. Phase 4 is education. Phase 4 is teaching young people about how important it is to understand honest money. I don't remember if they did it or I don't know if they did it for you, but when I was young, somebody came out and taught us about like passbook savings. Got to start saving your quarters and stuff and take them down to the bank. They didn't teach me about inflation. They didn't teach me about the Federal Reserve. They told me how to like save my quarters and pennies and stuff and put them in the local, savings bank that probably went out of business. Imagine how powerful it could be if we taught young people today about cryptocurrency, about the future of money, about how to break free from this stranglehold that the banks have had on money and currency for the last couple hundred years. If we can plant those seeds now with young people, we've got fans for life. We've got people that might just have the ability to stop that bleeding. And that's really important. I think of that right now as phase 4. We built the mine in the USA. We've got people using it all over the country. We replicate our success all over the world. What's next? Education. The next 100 million people that are going to come into crypto through our story. They're learning about these powerful tools that they already have in the palm of their hand that they're not using today because nobody invited them to participate. Children are the future, whether we like it or not. Children don't think about the future. Most young people today don't think the world's going to last past 2035. We got to give young people hope. If we can get them to start dreaming again, then the world becomes full of unlimited possibilities for the future. Stop saying stuff like this is it, this is the end. This isn't it. This is not the end. It may be the end of empire. It happens every couple hundred years. It's scary if you're going through it the first time. But it's not the end. You and I, us sitting here on a Tuesday night, drinking water out of a Casey's spring water bottle, have the ability to affect the outcome for the people on the planet that have been tossed aside. And yeah, that includes a lot of young people, especially here today in America. When was the last time you talked to a kid that was excited about a bright future? That's phase 4. Phase 4 is bringing on everyone else because we can start it. We can build it. We can grow it. But without young people, without the next generation, we'll lose it. And the bankers know that. Let them have it. We'll take over in another generation. If we can do this now, start planting these seeds, it'll take a generation or two for us to bring the conversation about money, currency, and value back to something honest. I got time. I'm going to have a blast doing it. And I'm sure a lot of you are going to join me as well. But that's phase 4, guys. And that's why it's so important for us to get out there and connect with the youth today and talk to them about stuff that they care about, like fun cars. We're going to give a bunch away this weekend. We've got a bunch more that are going to be going out. We just made a deal today to rent out G2 Motorsports Racetrack in Anna, Texas. 12 events over the next 10, 12 months. We'll do our own cars and crypto events there. We got a team that's on it right now. We're picking the dates out, but we're going to engage the youth. We're going to bring them up to speed on crypto, and we're going to get them excited about a bright future. I'm excited about the future. I'm thinking you're excited about the future, and that's what's coming down the road. All right, enough about that. Let's get back into Q&A. Okay, when is the 34 cars giving out? 10 have already been awarded, and the other 24 will be awarded between now and Saturday night. How would you explain the market value over the past month? We've talked about that. I've yet to be disappointed. Thanks, Carol. Hello from Cape Coral, blah, blah, blah. I sent an email to Rob. Who can I communicate with about helping with mine and location? Give us a couple weeks, guys. I think we're on to something, Matt. We are making big progress, and we're going to get a little bit of breathing room so we can step back and make some good plans for the future. Any idea when Canadians will have their Texit Coin? I don't know. We sent a batch up there. It's probably time for somebody to come down and get the next batch now that we've stopped doing it that way. Updates on building the mine? Yeah, just talked about. Why is the miner's metric? Talked about that. Any tickets or announcements for the party in Tampa on the 18th? Guys, remember, the party on the 18th is in Austin. The party in Tampa, I think, is on the 8th. That is next month, November 8th. Yes, the party is in Tampa on the 8th of November. Keep an eye out on the group chats for more information coming soon. When am I going to nudge? Remember, I need 5 million more in liquidity. That money materializes as we continue to grow. So we're not far off. Before the end of the month is the goal. Did everyone only get 100 TXC? No, we sent out 100 TXC per 1-2 free. I've added them all up. I think I sent it out correctly. If it's wrong, send a message in through your back office to the commission group, and they will check it out. Same thing with you, Sylvie. New back office graphics look great. Thank you. Had a person ask me if their global power outage for a significant period of time and the company loses money as a result, not being able to mine for months. Yeah, it would be a real bummer if the power went out for a long period of time. Remember, we've talked about how we know what we're doing. We know how to get there. So long as the power stays on and the world keeps turning the way it's turned for the last couple hundred years, we can take a lot of risks into consideration, but that's one of the ones that's a little bit goofy and outside of our control. That's why communication is so important. It would have been great to have known that instead of everyone speculating. No idea what you're talking about. Car giveaways unclear for that. Yeah, we don't have a lot of clarity on that yet, but we're getting it. Do we know anyone attending the Mining Disrupt Miners Expo in Irving, Las Colinas? No, we're not going to have a table there. I think that some people are going to be attending. But as far as our official capacity, no, that's not an event for us. That's an event for the other guys. What does Beavis mean in the stats? Looks like cold storage coin miner IDs. Beavis is blockchain enabled verification and information service. You want to see how it works? I'll show you. Let's take a quick walk down the path to 16. So check this out. 16 kg bullion. Okay, prove it. Well, let's click on that, right? We go through and we take a look at this. This is a wallet address. It's a Texit Coin wallet address. We are already using, there's already some utility for Texit Coin. It is powering Beavis. Okay, well, let's go down and look at some of these transactions because we really can't make anything of this. But check this out. Do you see this little thing here that says op return? This is what we're talking about. Beavis is embedding IPFS data in the blockchain. And you're going to need to click on details here to actually see this data. So Beavis 10, and then you've got this ID. This is an IPFS content identifier, QCID, right? And so a content identifier is like a digital fingerprint for a file. IPFS, let me see if I can do this. IPFS search. Let's see if we can get, let me see if I can share my screen again. IPFS search. So if you want to search any IPFS hash by content, you can put in that content identifier here, click on search, and oops, failed to fetch. I don't know if that's down or if it doesn't like my content ID. Yep, IPFS search was shut down. Okay. Well, if you go to beavis.sg slash, oh, you can see Danconia Bank info is right there. This is the interplanetary file system. This is the decentralized permanent web. If we put that content identifier in there, look what pops up. This file, guys, this is cool. This file is shared to the permanent decentralized web. It is permanently accessible through this address. See how this is a lowercase o? What happens if we change that to an uppercase O? Nothing. What happens if we change it to a 0? That is an invalid path. This is a digital fingerprint that cannot cryptographically be counterfeited. So every time you search for this file, you are always going to get this image. That's the magic of IPFS. It's very cool. So are we still seeing me here? Oh, we're not even seeing me here. Darn. Sorry. I was showing you how if you change this file to 1 digit different, you get an invalid content identifier, right? I made this system, guys. It's kind of cool. I don't want to brag, but it's kind of cool. So if we go back, we see all this data here and we say, okay, so I've permanently embedded this transaction detail in this op return section. I can't modify it. It's permanent. Oh, okay, well, there seems to be quite a few of them. Well, what's this one? Show me what this one is. Let's click on the transaction ID and let's go down and let's get the details on it. And then let's copy this content identifier and let's go back over to the interplanetary browser and let's delete all this extra verification data. And let's see what that is. Oh, it's another picture of gold bars. We could do this for all of the messages that were sent to that address. So just to summarize, you can think of that address that's at the top like a one-way read-only email inbox. Okay, so we click on this, we click on this address up here. Think of it like a one-way read-only email inbox. I can send messages to it. Message. You could send a message to it right now that says, Bobby looks funny. And it would be there permanently embedded. Now, the reason we put this Beavis and 10 in there is so that when the Beavis app is looking at this, it knows to read these things and prioritize them based on this number. So if you put in Bobby is dumb, it'll kind of skip over that. The data on the tail end is actually the verify information so that we know that it came from a legitimate post, right? So you could put Beavis.10.Bobby is dumb and ugly. But if you didn't have the verifier on there, it wouldn't show up in the Beavis app. So that protects us a little bit. But the point is that it's permanent. It's not going anywhere. It's kind of cool. So how do I prove up $2 million in gold? Well, I don't know. I can't like put it on display in my bedroom and invite everyone to take a look at it. But I can take pictures of it. I can show you the serial numbers. I can show you that the serial numbers and the certificates match the serial numbers on the bar. And I can publish those images to the decentralized permanent web, IPFS, interplanetary file system. It's a great system. I developed it back in 2018 because people said, how do I know I can trust your system? I said, well, you don't know. But I can publish my production log. I can share it to the web. I can sign it. I can tell you that I did a good job. If that's not good enough for you, then you're going to have to look somewhere else. But people are saying blockchain, 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 but no one's using it to add authenticity to their business processes, except for this guy. So that is what we call Beavis, and that's what it means. That's our proof system. People are asking me about the market evaluation of Texit Coin. How do I explain the evolution? Just point them to the Path to 16 article. Has the SEC reached out once we passed the 5 million mark on the crowdfunding? No, they haven't. Tell them to take a look at the website because we're coming up on 100 million. How can we buy additional TXC cold storage coins so that we can begin trading some coin and sending money to a new coin? Shop TXC is down and Blockchain Mint can't take payments. Yeah, we're still working on that, guys. I think we'll have some answers for it soon. I'm in Canada, a friend from the US. How much is Texit Coin price, please? Check it out online at CoinMarketCap. Bobby, I'm a finance account executive. I would highly suggest to pull the buy one, get one for the hash. It really will pull the company down the value. Yes. We are pulling it at 50,000 for new people. But remember, we're still very, very small. So we're learning this stuff as we're small, and we can keep our promise to the people that join us when we're small because the numbers get very small as it scales, or the impact of that small thing doesn't really matter as it scales. How many did Joe Quint sponsor to win the roles? You'll have to check the report in the report section on the Game Over giveaway. His total points was about 90,000. So it was like 300 sponsors times, 1 point each, something like that. Jody says, I'm in Canada. Would love to trip to Texas. Reach out to some people here. Gaige, you're amazing, says Jody. I agree. How many did each of the top 5 sponsors sponsor in the contest? I don't know. Let's take a quick look. Go into report, go into special report, Game Over giveaway. Joe sponsored 167. Desmond was 203, but fewer points. 106 for Gaige, 90 for Lita, and 48 for Elba. Hope that answers your question. Okay. What will TXC do when alt season is over? Alt season has nothing to do with us. We will continue marching on. Will CMC be updating and correcting the info soon? Ken, I don't know what you're talking about. Hi, Fatimia from Trinidad. Okay, hello. Hi, no, you will touch on it, but the latest updates on future mining facilities. Yes, there you go. The CMC number of holders. Yeah, we're going to have to reach out to them and make sure they understand that that is unrelated to the main chain. It's related to the wrap token. For selling TXC for US dollars, what exchange do you prefer to use to withdraw it into checking or debit accounts? Well, we don't have that connection yet. We're going live soon on Pionex, which actually is a US exchange, which actually links in maybe with US bank accounts. But what people do right now is they'll sell it on DexTrade. They'll send it over to the USDC over to Coinbase, where it's cashed out to the bank account for dollars. What is Tim's last name? Blake. Balaki. Any updates on the home miner? No updates on home miners other than we've got the interface for the home mining stuff done. It's actually kind of cool. You want to see it? Okay. If you go to pool.mine, I can't type minetxc.com. Well, I guess it's not that cool. /statistics. It is not found. How about pool.texitcoin.org? This one is less down. This one's pretty cool. This one actually shows you, oh, look at that, the real time. Oh, that's Litecoin. This one shows you a bunch of stuff that you never had access to before. And so we're working on developing this. And then this is also where you would go to register your home miner, and then you can see how it's performing. Very, very important as we roll out the home miners so that you actually know that your miner is working. So as we get further along into that, then we'll have more updates for you. You keep mentioning TXC is designed to be spent in everyday commerce. If TXC goes to 800, 2,000, or 1,000, like we all know, how is $10,000 coin spendable at local stores? Well, yeah, you can spend a partial coin, and that's an important answer. But remember, most of the spending is going to be happening on the L2. That's the town tokens, the downtown digital dollars, the fairs and festivals. And so we're not prioritizing getting merchants to directly accept TXC. That's not a top priority for us because we're going to do most of that work through L2. The Texit Coin is a reward for the miners for maintaining the network. Hi there, Casper. What is the average wait time for coins to be shipped? I think we're like 2-3 weeks right now. Since we're slowing down a little bit, maybe we've got some catch-up time, but we've also had some drama with the shipping software not showing UPS. Did we ever lock down the deal with the country music star? No, we actually backed out of that deal. That's one of those reasons we shouldn't say stuff until it's done and done. I don't want to get too much into that right now. Let's just say that we are continuing to look for a country music superstar. We were in momentum while everyone was gone. Sales have decreased because peer payments have changed. The price tanks. Community is having doubts and uncertainties. Then that part of the community is welcome to, I don't know. I don't want to say anything bad right now. Let me find a way to not say something bad. Give me a second here. Look, we have a plan. We have a mission. We have a strategy. We know exactly what we're doing. We don't sell on hype. We don't sell on influencers. We don't sell on KOLs. Is that a new thing? Online leaders. So if you got into this deal because of some expectation that we're not meeting, that's a bummer. That's a disappointment for me. And to help avoid things like that. I've asked Michaelan to start a new miner orientation call just for new miners once a week, every Monday. I think it's going to happen Monday at 3 o'clock. Just to go over the basics. Here's what we are. Here's what we're not. Here's what you should expect. Here's what you should not expect, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It's not a pump and dump. It's not anything that's going to take us to where we want to go before it's time for us to get there. So hopefully those things were explained to you accurately when you joined. If you're looking at the price going back down to where it's supposed to be and you're disappointed, you got to really take a step back and make sure that you understand what we're doing here. It's not real difficult. It's not, it is kind of, I would say, revolutionary what we're doing because everybody else does it on influencers and pumps, but that's not us. That's not what we're doing. And so if you are kind of struggling because people are looking at the price and they're looking at the sales turning, and I get it. I get it. It's hard to sell successfully in a down market. Some people are going to be successful, and those people are going to continue to build out their mining power and their cash. If you're going to stay on the sidelines until you see more signs of life from either the mine being built, totally understandable, or the price going up or the sales going up, then that's okay. You don't have to do it. That's what this system was designed for everyone, whether you wanted to help us build and grow or not. I think we're at the point now where we have enough people who understand what the goal and the mission and the strategy is that we're going to continue to move forward. But because we don't have a promise or a guarantee, if sales are down next week, commission's down next week, and we keep up with our obligations exactly right. I just paid out commission today. It was a smaller number than usual. Why? Because our sales are lower than usual. But that's by design. And so the people that are really engaged, they're not looking at the price. They're not looking at those numbers. They're just saying, did we follow through? Are we doing a good job? Let's keep going, right? Rangers have an ability on the Teams tab to access all the downline miners. Contact if you would be a huge to reach out to everyone and build a team. Thank you. Blue Chip. The plan shows discipline never before seen in DeFi crypto. Thank you, Blue Chip Trip. What is our current liquidity? We've got 5 million plus. What happened to the path to 80? It's still out there somewhere. But remember, the path to 80 takes into consideration a multiple based on our success. We haven't proven that we're successful yet. We've proven that we're growing. We've proven that the money is adding up. But like, let's get the mine, hashing its heart out to like start showing people that we're actually going to do it. That's when the price, I think, will start to take off beyond our original goal. I had many people ask this question over the weekend, showing them Texit Coin. If there was global power outages, I think we covered that. Who is we, or is that the royal we? I'm not sure what we were talking about. Reach out to the economic ninja. That guy has a huge following on YouTube. We don't do influencers yet. Not now. It'll be part of the strategy later. It's a good time to buy TXC as well. It's under $4, 3x to 16. Yeah, look, anytime's a good time. Thanks, Gaige. He did say in a couple of years, price would be 1,000. Look, guys, I know how to get it to the very top. What is the license plate deal? I think you get one free mining seat for as long as the plate's on your vehicle. After I bought some TXC on Dextrade and went to transfer the TXC in my wallet, only the network choice was mainnet. That's right. I've been told that mainnet is the Texit Coin network. That's right. Is the Texit Coin, is that correct? And if so, why not call Texit Coin instead? That's just how they do it. Any updates on getting verified? Nope. We're in the queue. They said it'd be a couple of weeks and we'll get there soon. So what's going on with the engineers working on the PL100? I don't know what a PL1000. I don't know what a PL1000 is. Is the company working on short marketing videos? Lots of people are working on videos. I'm not one of them. I don't know who's working on what, but they make some really great stuff. When the mine fills and there are no more money coming in, what pays to keep the mine going? We will probably switch to a percentage like everybody else does. So where's the game over giveaway for the rest of the people? A raffle. So is the game over giveaway for the rest of the people a raffle? Yes, we will give away a couple of vehicles. I'm not sure exactly how many in a raffle. Some are going out in other formats that we will announce soon, but everybody that's a miner will have a chance to win. Did you just say Scottsdale? I sure did, Joanne. Seeing the exchange price has not required much of a liquidity pool. Is there an exchange rule for the ratio of price versus liquidity? There's not. They do have an initial minimum amount of liquidity required. It's usually based on, your coin total market cap, the price they charge to like come on board. Like when we pay $30,000 to join an exchange, they want us to put $30,000 in cash as well and $30,000 worth of tokens. I don't even want to tell you what I'm working on. But what they do require is that the spread between the buy and sell stays within a particular range, right? They want that to be like less than 10%. And I think that that's pretty consistent now across most of our markets. It'll jump from time to time if the market gets hot and cold, but we do keep an eye on that to try to maintain a spread based on what the rules are of the exchange. I just sold 6 today to a friend who upgraded to a 9 pack after I shared what I picked up in training Saturday in Bedford. Love it. Remember, selling is good, but be careful. We don't want to ask people to do anything that they're uncomfortable with, and we never want to have people put money in that they're not comfortable putting at risk. So, with the increase in hash, will each miner get more coins? No, that's not how it works. Where are the mine made? China. 100% America. No, no. Look, I don't want to get into tariffs and conversation about making America great and all that stuff, but I do want to remind you that there's a lot of great stuff made all over the world. Some of the finest wines in the world come from France. Some of the finest cheese in the world comes from Switzerland. The world's a big place, and we took 165 people to show them Thailand in just the last couple weeks. Thailand makes really great stuff. They make really great coconut water. We don't grow coconuts real well here in America. We also don't make really great microchips cost effectively here in America. They come from China. So no, not America. Swappy, what's up? Swappy wants to jump on the jet. If you could choose one or two things you're most excited about, where we are as a community today, would those be? Equally, what do you wish was better or at a different spot? I think I know this answer, but if you could ask the community of miners to do X to take this to the next level, what would X be? More specifically, how can we best serve this mission on a daily practical way? That's a lot. It's a lot. We're looking for one word answers on these questions, Swappy. P.S. Thank you for showing me my most favorite. Yeah, I made Swappy eat some durian out there in Thailand, and it was fun. It's fun to watch. Um, I don't know. I'm excited about everything. Um, when I go through this project front to back, top to bottom, inside and out, everything works. It works from every direction. Somebody mentioned earlier, what about the SEC? That's kind of the last hill. The last hill where we have to conquer is making sure that when that day does come, we are able to quickly and easily with professionals demonstrate to them that we are not uh, com- uh, a ICO. We're not a security token. We're not something. We call ourselves crowdfunding, but we're not really crowdfunding. We're a network marketing company when it comes to commissions and when it comes to our product, the mine. We're building a mine. We're selling hash power in the mine, and so if you add them all up, you get X. When you take them all apart individually, you get Y and Z and ABC. But I would say that the thing that I'm most excited and happy about is how robust our project is from a like checkmate perspective. Like we've got this thing on lockdown from every direction. And that's very exciting for me because, things get hot and cold. Our mining community right now is getting cold because of all the reasons we've already talked about. But the mining installation is heating up. So the mine comes online, the chart goes, and people go, see, I told you. Okay, they jump in, they decide to join us. So I like that this thing has got so many different angles, and all those angles are contributing to our success. If you ask me for two favorite things, I would say the second one is how big this project is. Because this matters to the crypto community. When they go, whoa, $100 million project, that's big. And so, yeah, we want to brag about how big this project is. That's real money. And they look at that as a metric to evaluate whether or not they should pay attention to you. So I would say that those two things are my favorite. Who should we contact about locations to get set up more minings close to McKinney? Nobody right now. Stay on standby. I think we're making big progress. You'll see it soon. I had a question from a member asking if the power goes out, generators can't hold the power. We don't do generators. Our strategy is decentralization and diversification. Send an email to Keith at blockchain, but I never heard back from anyone. I don't know who Keith is. Davey here. I want that shirt. Bring me one. Okay. Why does chart say gigahash? Gigahash is 1,000 megahash, right? And I don't know what the one is after that, but 1,000 megahash is 1 gigahash. So when we say we're building a 100 million megahash mine, you can also say we're building a, what is that? 100,000 gigahash mine? Just different numbers. You can look up the chart to convert it. When should we expect TXC to be on Coinbase? I don't know. I don't know. Not for a while. When should we expect to see TXC on Binance? Ooh, different answer. So, how much power is required in case we run across some land? A megawatt, 1 megawatt. It would be great to even see half of what we should be hashing, you said. Yes, with the B24 and B48 running, we should see at least 1,100 gigahash. That's right. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe this week, I would say. What about backup power for these big containers? No, diversification. Love the honesty and humility, Bobby. Keep it up. You're welcome, Phil. Sorry, I sent an email to Kyle, but I never heard anything back from him. Kyle, check your email. Thank you. It worked. And guys, look, we got 38,000 of you now. So you got to hopefully understand and respect that a lot of people have a lot of ideas, and don't be bummed out if we don't respond to every one of them. It doesn't mean we didn't get it. It doesn't mean we don't care about you. It just means we're getting a lot of communication going now, and we got to stay focused on getting the job done. Mark says we have a miner who has landed in Gunther with a pad, high voltage power line crosses the property, fence, natural gas line too. Who should he contact? Probably Kyle right now. Kyle at Blockchain Mint. But again, give us a couple weeks to catch our breath here, get caught up, and then we'll start putting the feelers out for the next 4 sites. Tampa event we talked about November 8th. How do I purchase some of those cool shirts? You don't just yet. When will TXC cold storage coins be back up on the website? I don't know. I'd like a link to the Telegram. I don't know what that is, Candace, but check your welcome email. It should be in there. Phase 4 was hinted. Yeah, we talked about that. It's not that glamorous. It's education. Which Telegram section has the pop-ups? Make sure you're in the right Telegram group, guys. I just changed the name of our group today to MTXC Miners. Right? There's some spoofy groups out there. Watch out. There is a scam lurking around every corner. What is the name of the event in Scottsdale? It's the $1 Million Makeover, $1 Million Meetup, $1 Million Mixer. Let's go with $1 Million Mixer. Coach Bud, he is the one that's in charge of that. So connect with Coach Bud. You're going to take the roles there? That would be awesome. Thanks, Joe. Ryan said, hey, I've reached out multiple times to the help desk for information in the home Doge miner. Hang out on that for a couple days. We're close to pushing that new thing live, and then you'll be able to see it working. So more mines in the container, more coins produced. No. Any update when coin market cap? Couple weeks. Is the Texit Coin backlog getting caught up? I think so. But I'm not sure. We've got a big development change coming out on that that's going to eliminate that problem. The real sexiest man ever says, when will we see the hash earned from the September bonus? It should have already been paid out. If you didn't get it, double check your wallet, reach out to the commission support group through your help desk. What's peers? Peer payments. We're doing away with it eventually. What is estimate of Texit Coin's income revenue comes from selling mines? 100% of our revenue comes from selling mines. What a positive and overly exciting update. Yes, much better than last week's doom and gloom. Hi, Bobby. Do you see this going to other states too? I live in California. We could use this. Yes, this is something for everybody. Remember, everyone can benefit from honest money. Thank you, Bobby, for the clarification on the comp plan for existing miners before 50. You're welcome. Trying to make Oktoberfest in Baton Rouge. I'll be there. We're bringing in the PJ. Has there been itinerary for Saturday released? Doors open at 5. If you didn't get a ticket for it, then sorry, we're kind of at capacity. But yeah, doors open at 5. Check the Eventbrite for details. Bobby, do you have any plans to start advertising in NYC? Yes. Once the seats are filled, the rocket is ready to go. Times Square, here we come. Bobby, so if I understand the change, 50,000, those in before are grandfathered in. Yes, these are grandfathered in. Can we please add bank draft for Pepe to invest? It was very difficult to close new miners when it's difficult to get it bought in. Sorry, Josh, we're not going backwards. Bank draft for Pepe. Yeah, we have to do crypto only, guys. My last bank account was frozen. I hope it gets unlocked in the next couple of days. We will see. And so we got to be crypto only. When will the 100 coin payout conclude? It should be done. If you didn't get yours, reach out to commission. When we buy TXT coins in our back office, how long for us to take for us to see them? You should see them fairly fastly, like half an hour. Are we still wrapping cars waiting for approval? We are. Reach out to Kristen in the marketing department. She's got a budget to wrap about 25 cars a month. Thank you. Got to go. See you, bud. 30 people listed on Game Over giveaway, but 34 cars. Yeah, we're giving them out in a whole bunch of different formats. If you get one and you don't win it on site, we'll let you know before. Why do we collect more data during SITA? Age, no. We don't want any more information than absolutely necessary. We heard the last bank account got closed down. It's my understanding that numerous banks are adopting crypto. Why is the resistance against TexitCoin? Well, we've got a lot of different issues at stake. I don't really want to tell you what the last issue was. It was actually an IRS issue that I had from 2022 with a payroll tax thing. Long story. But that's the thing that actually was this. I think it'll go away in a couple of days, and it could continue fine. But even so, we have to be crypto only. Why? What do you personally think will happen if the great currency reset takes place across the globe to crypto? I don't think that has anything to do with us, guys. We really don't, participate in the crypto market the same way that everybody else does. That will change someday, and we'll be subject to the same, ups and downs that the rest of the industry does, but not yet. Someone in East Texas who deals with clientele and retail. He's interested to learn how he can introduce this as a form of payment. Who does he reach out to? No one yet. Stay on standby. Remember, a lot more is coming. We don't really want anyone using this as a mission critical thing until the mine is further along. So stay tuned for more. Thank you for the extra 700 TXC from the promotion last month. That means you got 712 frees. That means you brought on 21 new seats or new people. Great job. I appreciate how you have integrity to keep your word. Yeah, thank you. It's my pleasure. Everyone in my kids, age 11, have had crypto wallets. Educate, educate, educate. Love that pitch. Yeah. Raffle for miners to have a trip to one of these events would be awesome. Jody, I'm not in disagreement, but what we like to do with the awards and the contests and the promotions is we like the people that win those things to be the people that deserve them the most, right? It's fun to get something that you didn't necessarily earn, but we also don't want to leave out the guys that crushed it, came in 11th or 12th on the list, and then they go, well, what do I get? The new guy got something I didn't. Well, sometimes it bees like that, right? But as often as we can, we want the incentives to be performance based. Hi, Bobby. I'd really like the wrapping of the cool cars. Such a great conversation starter. It really is. But haven't heard back from Kristen. Just be patient. We got a lot of interest. Don't worry, we've got a budget for it. We're working through it. Same thing. Like if you reach out, you're brand new, 1 week in, one seat. You're not going to get the same priority that someone's that's been in for like a year and a half with like 2,800 seats is going to get. So, how would phase 3 work for existing miners? Don't worry about that yet, Raphael. More details will come later. I need us to keep our eye on the prize today. I need us to get so close to hitting our goal that we can't miss even if we tried. Now is not the time to talk about phase 3. Where can I get more info on the Miami event in November? Wanted to get some folks out to the event. I think check texitweekend.com. Any plans for billboards in Las Vegas? Why, yes, there are plans for billboards. At 50,000, the BOGO. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm getting close to the end. How to apply for work, create the Texit. Engineering areas or project generally. Ken, hang tight. I think we're okay there. When the next promo with 100 coin? Not for a while. That one cost me a lot. You have research in merch. You have resources and merch for K-12? No, but that's what we're going to come up with. We're going to come up with coloring books. And I want to be like, the McGruff guy that goes out to schools and like tells kids, only you can prevent fiat inflation money. I don't know. We're forest fires. My new miner got only one coin. The cold storage is she getting her separately? She should only get one coin. I don't know if we're still sending Ethereum coins out, but keep an eye out for that. Do we have backup power UPS? No, we don't do that. I have friends that ask me about legitimacy of this market before joining. What can I tell them or prove to them? I don't know. If everything else we've covered isn't enough, then this might not be the rocket for them. I have a new Rocketeer team member that accumulated 5 points in their first week since a family member was helping them build. They hadn't enrolled their own person yet, but it was in the works, but didn't happen before commission week ending on Saturday. I thought that since they didn't receive commission potential yet, they wouldn't earn, but all the points would remain. Yeah. So we flush those points. I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do or not, but they flush. And so yeah, so I'm not really sure what to tell you on that one. Very disappointing. They lost those 3 points. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. So look, you got to go back to the spirit of what we're trying to accomplish with the comp plan. Why do we have a comp plan? Because we want to build out this thing. We want to give people an incentive. So if you got points on your left and points on your right and you didn't do anything yet, I don't know how that happened. Someone's trying to build it up, but they did it in the wrong order. You should be out there building first, and then somebody else is helping you, right? So what you're losing is the spirit of the comp plan. So what I got to do is I got to go into the system and I got to instruct the programmers to write some sort of special code to take into consideration the people that are probably trying to game the system, um, and make it so that they can still game the system, but like their new person that they're trying to, it's just it's too much for me. The system works a particular way. It's not going to make everybody happy. And the people that it's supposed to piss off are the people that aren't really doing anything in the first place. I can't say if that example perfectly matches what you're pointing out in this situation, but it's not a glitch. When the points run, it goes 3 left, 3 right. Do you have commission potential? No, it's out. We changed that for the Rocketeers. It used to be different. We changed it because we were giving away thousands of seats on the Rocket to people that put grandma down here and then started building under grandma. I like that grandma's getting free stuff. I would want free stuff too if I was a grandma, but it's not the spirit of our system. And so I'm always going to do things that eliminate possibilities for gaming our system or giving away stuff that wasn't earned. That's going to be frustrating. I can't look at every scenario and say, well, here's what happened in this scenario and say, oh, well, in that case, yeah, we'll give you the $1,000. What I can tell you is that the points keep coming. If these are the only points that they were ever going to earn, then they should have planned ahead to make sure that they had the cash potential there before they started putting things in that they didn't earn. But again, the system is the way it is. I think it works for most people. It's not going to work for everybody. The comment and communication you didn't understand. If something wonky is going on, like with the updated system and commission of hash not occurring like we are used to, developers don't work on the weekends, a simple message in Telegram or something would have been nice. Yeah, look, one of the problems we have is with fast growth, we don't remember what you already heard. And so when the commission doesn't run properly, it's annoying, but sometimes we don't know. Sometimes it looks like it run, and then it's not till Monday morning we come in and we check a whole bunch of angry messages from people saying, I didn't get mine. And we go, oh, it looks like it didn't work properly. We try to communicate well. Like when I did an update on the system last night, put a message out, system's going to be down for an hour. 20 minutes later, it was back up and working fine. Do all the seats or a certain amount of seats need to be sold for us to hit the $16? No. Do you predict us hitting $16 in February regardless of the amount of seats sold? Yeah. That is awesome. When do we know? So, okay, we've talked about that. Are you saying there will only be other countries where TXE will be mined in the futures? Are you saying that there will be other countries where TXE will be mined in the future? No. I thought our selling point was that it's only mined in Texas. Yes, correct. Texit Coin is mined in Texas. That's what I'm saying. Don't worry about phase 3. don't tunnel vision. How to get a home miner? Hang tight. They're coming soon. Where is Robbie Root tonight? He told me where he's going. I don't remember. I joined September 20th. I haven't received my coin yet. Sorry to hear that. Reach out to shipping through your back office. Hi, Bobby. Last Tuesday, you mentioned receiving a Tangem wallet and having a conversation with Tangem team about a potential partnership. No, there are no updates on that. That is true. I'm still working on that. I'm also working on that with Ledger. How's that for awesome? What was the name of the exchange you mentioned? Pionex, Pionex. They have pionex.us. That is the U.S. exchange that links in with U.S. bank accounts. And the questions keep coming. Scrolling down. Thanks, Gaige, for going through and commenting out some of these things we've already. Hash is bumping up to 400 now. Is that true? Let's take a look. Let's go and see if the hash is starting to move in the right direction, thanks to our friends working out in Mansfield. Do we see an upward tick? Come on. Thinking. Motivating. It is. We've got an upward tick. Good to see. Great. Thanks, Mansfield, guys. Thanks, Kyle. Does Roger Ver know about TexitCoin? Seems this would be something he would get on board with. I don't know if he knows. I think that he might know because we've got some mutual contacts, but Roger's working on his own project, and I can't remember what it's called. Texas has #1 most power outages. Have you heard of experts say it would take 30 nuclear plants? Yeah, look, it's unlikely that the entire grid goes down at one time. And so we've got an ERCOT expert actually now as a consultant that's helping us strategically plan the placement of our 35 containers for maximum reliability. Bonnie here, my guy Bobby. The first fully paid for TexitCoin wedding has happened, and congratulations, Bonnie. So very happy and proud of you. Great job. On 1010, Bonnie and David Christie, congratulations. Thank you, my dear friends, Bobby and Kira, for attending, and thank you, TexitCoin, for my beautiful day. TXC is one of the best opportunities that has ever happened to me and us. Just excited about where TexitCoin will take David and I. Oh, so many places. We're still honeymooning. Good. Get back to it. Hang up. We'll see you guys again soon. Love you. Gregory's iPhone, when submitting precious metals for a new miner, we've added to our back office. What do we use for pricing guidance? I was told JM Bullion is a good guide, and that is a good guide. Look, guys, we need you to do the math on it, okay? We check the coins when they come in, but we can't do all the transactions. We don't have a fixed price. Silver and gold are very exciting these days. Prices going way up. So good for you guys. And if you'd like to turn your real money into more real money in mining, then we want it. Swappy says, who wouldn't want to jump on the jet? Bring it. Laurel has her carry on ready. How many available seats total is 1 million? A Davey with one XXL. I don't know how. Wait. Somebody just threw it on me today. They're like, "Wear this." So with more mining equipment, will we be producing more coins? No. When is TexitCoin going to be listed on Binance? Has TexitCoin undergone any independent audits, technical code audits, financial audits? Are there any plans to publish third-party audits? Yeah, eventually. It has not to date. This is Doug. Can you please tell me when we will see the hash will come from the September promotion? You're not getting hash from September promotion. You get TXC, and it's already been paid out. If you didn't get it and you think you deserve it, then reach out to the commission support people in your back office. Any ledger update? Yes. No update, but it's happening. Well, it's in the process. Where can we see the 4 stages? I haven't published that article yet, but it will come soon. Who should I contact to show me how to scan it? Check the help desk about the coin that finally came, right? All of that stuff is very easy to find. Help.mindtxc.com. Bob says, new website developer yet? The world's best crypto should have the world's best website and social media. No, but I think I'm going to have some major progress this week. How do we volunteer for events? I'm close to Scottsdale. Reach out to Coach Bud. That's his event. Why Texit issue Ethereum wallets? Because we have a wrap token. It's called WTXC. And because we pay out commission in USDC, we'd really like to pay a commission out to your cold storage wallet. It's the best way to go. You link it in with MetaMask. You send it over to Coinbase or Kraken. One of those accounts gets frozen. You send it over to the other one. You're in control. You've got the keys. You've got the control. Why is the reward distribution not consistent as far as the time they go out every night? Is there a plan to automate the process? The process is automated. It takes a very long time because it's going out to way more than 30,000 wallets. And it does a lot of calculations to figure out exactly who they're supposed to go out to. So it takes a while. Thank you, Bobby. And then it takes a while for the network to pick it up and get it to you. Man, we are down to the last couple of questions. When do you guess we will get on Binance? Stop talking about Binance. I didn't say anything about Binance. What would be the main sticking point that you think the SEC will have with Texit? There's a whole bunch of them, right? There's a whole bunch of them. One is crypto in general. One is the crowdfunding thing. One is the amazing amount of money. One is the MLM aspect of our thing. It's like all of these things smell a lot. And they say where there's smoke, there must be fire. And so we're going to get inquiries on all of these different things. And they go, you're launching your own coin. Yeah, it's a copy of Litecoin, which is a copy of Bitcoin, and it's a proof of work coin. Dead end. You're doing it through this network marketing thing. Yeah, look how much we paid out in commission, and look at our comp plan, and we have fixed limitations in there, so that the guy at the top doesn't make all the money, and the guy at the bottom gets nothing. We've heard again and again that this is the blue collar comp plan. Everyone can get their money back if they want. Everyone can increase their hash power if they want. You don't have to if you don't want. And so, we're anticipating lots and lots and lots of raised eyebrows. And ultimately, what we'll have to prove at some point is that Texit Coin is not a security. Now, it took Ripple 5 years and $10 million of lawyers to do that. How many people did they have to pay off? How many campaign donations had to get made? I don't know. But what we're expecting is that the bulk of our work is going to be done long before those kind of inquiries come. Maybe they're going to knock on the door tonight. I don't know. but we're planning to deal with those questions and inquiries. And the biggest thing about it, every time you read through the indictments of every other guy that tried to do this, it always starts with fraud. So we must keep our hands clean. We must eliminate any possibility of fraud. Why? Because that takes the FBI out of the equation. What normally happens is they come in and they go, we're just going to bring the FBI in. They'll kick down the doors. Everyone gets arrested. If we eliminate the potential and the possibility and the existence of fraud, we're left with the SEC. And we can deal with the SEC, right? Maybe we pay a fine someday. I don't know. But our project persists. It will move on. It will succeed because we didn't defraud people. You have to be careful, and I have to be really careful. No, that doesn't mean you can't say the word investment. It means you have to be honest with people. You have to be upfront with them. It means you have to be clear with them about what we're doing. That's a risk. We don't know. We think, we have an idea, we have a theory. All that stuff is in writing, published to the website. We will deal with the SEC issue if and when it comes, but we will deal with it with resources. I use Trust Wallet for USDC commissions and teach my team how to set that up since the ETH coins are not shipping at this time. Great idea. Love to see it. Thank you. Excited to see our Texas family this weekend and awesome. We love the Grays. Thanks, Ricardo. You should reach out to Tim. I love everything you are doing. Thank you, says Jeremy. I heard Philippines will soon be activated to build Texas. Tunnel vision, guys. Phase 1. Min Stacy Collins, our support team is phenomenal. I didn't see my promotional TXC and support was on the case and emailed me a screenshot of my coins. Let's go. Great. Glad to hear it. And that is it. 756 wasn't quite as long as last week. More good news this week than last week. Guys, the phase we're in right now is we're running the business. Okay? Don't worry about the price. Don't worry about the numbers being down. I'm not worried about it. You shouldn't be worried about it either. There's always going to be a time to sow, a time to reap. There's always going to be periods of growth and periods of contraction, expansion, contraction. This is just how it works. We're doing phenomenal. We have way more than we thought we were going to need back in the beginning before we did it this way to make a top 100 successful coin. I'm having the time of my life. I hope you are enjoying your experience as well. Remember to go through the mission control manual, read section 9 or 10. Abandon ship. If you evaluate what we're doing, how we're doing it, and you come to the conclusion that you're not impressed, you're still on the rocket. You don't have to tell people about it. We want you to speak with conviction. We want you to speak on your personal experience. We want you to tell your story. And if it takes you a little while on the sidelines to see the proof, see the deliverables, see the mine hash power go, then that's all good. Today's reward was just completed, by the way, 758. That's all good. It's all good. There are other people that are going to help us build and grow while you're taking a vacation or you're spending more time with your family or you're catching up on your other loose ends. It's all good. We've got a great project. We know exactly where we're going. We know how to get there. It's because of great people like you have put your time, your effort, your resources at risk in the great hopes that Bobby Gray follows through on what he said he was going to do. Build the mine, pay commission, promote the coin. Watch my back, keep your coin safe, hold me accountable, and we got this. Thanks for joining Tuesday night edition of Miners Update with Bobby Gray. I will be in Baton Rouge this week on Friday and Saturday. I will be in Austin on Saturday night. How to do the impossible? You'll see. It's a lot of fun. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Enjoy your evening. We'll talk again soon. Good night.